So we're going to hopefully today complete our discussions on fifth chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we're just setting up for the book itself to come. So last time we stopped at text 22 of the fifth chapter, and the question was, that was last time. 14. Okay, what did we learn? We don't have many. No. Okay, anyway, let's just ask, what did we learn? What did we learn last time? We have to close the door because sounds are coming. Have to close the door. You know, Rupilas has a very loud voice. This is on. They're gonna put it. Because this fan is also making noise. To be equinimical. That's something that fascinates me personally. It's just, throughout Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is pointing out, you have to come to that platform, you have to come to that platform, you have to learn how to tolerate, you have to learn how to remain Krishna conscious in spite of the external conditions. So coming to that stage of equanimity. So whoever comes, they can receive some of those papers. Yeah. Equanimity. Okay, any other point? Anything that stand out in your mind? Any other interesting difference between Brahman as a para-Brahman and Atma as a Brahman, right? The difference between Krishna and us. That we discussed. Okay. I will. Okay. And that liberated persons don't engage in material sense pleasures. Okay. So let's start now. Om Agyanat Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Guravam Pracharya Nivishesha Shunyavadi Prashchatyare Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Radha Shri Sadhguru Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So we have now. Let's complete. Let's just complete this, and then if we have to discuss anything more, we'll do that afterwards. So let's just complete this test, because you see, everybody, I said this year, whoever wrote it, failed. Everybody failed. Nobody really knew anything, unfortunately, about this big chapter. Yeah. And everybody had to use the book. That's a disaster. That's anyway the worst batch ever. Okay, 49th question from the 5th chapter. All of you have Bhagavad Gita? At least on mobile, open Bhagavad Gita, at least on your Gita database, whatever Gita base, any base which has Bhagavad Gita. 522. So even if it's not there in the paper, then at least you could refer it, looking at your mobile as a reference. So text 5, 5th chapter, 22nd verse, it says, how does Srimad Bhagavatam describe transcendental bliss? How does Srimad Bhagavatam describe transcendental bliss? Wait a second. There's discussion of a pleasure potency. What is the pleasure potency? Who is the pleasure giver? Who is the giver of all pleasure? What? Yeah, it is Krishna, but who specifically more? But who is? What means pleasure? Giver of pleasure? Are Baba, look at your text. Don't speculate. Rama. Ramanti yogino nante. So who is that pleasure? Rama. Okay, so what is the verse? First of all, you check your papers here. What those people who have wrote it, what did they write? You check. You see the text 49. I mean the question 49 and the answer 49. So any answer given there? We have more of those. You can give 2. So give. There are so many, no? Give more, so they can have double. If nothing is written in one, maybe something will be written on the other. I'm sorry? Yeah.
By undergoing penances in this life.
Wait a second, come here.
By undergoing penances in this life, the existence of living entity will be purified.
Sorry for interrupt.
That's correct.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dharat Pranam, sorry for interrupt. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, he already gave the answer.
Oh, sorry, Prabhuji, I want to say your voice is stuck in, Prabhuji, because my Bluetooth is okay, my Wi-Fi is okay, but voice is not clearly coming. That's why I'm. Okay. Hare
Do
Krishna.
we have any issue with the sound or?
No,
Oh, that's your problem there. That's what Sumit says.
okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Sorry for interrupt.
Okay, let's focus here. So this is what Srimad Bhagavatam describes. It says here that what is transcendental bliss? It's the stage when one. Okay, let me ask a little more. I don't want to let it go so easy. What is transcendental bliss? How can one experience transcendental bliss? Sumit, you come here. Why are you so behind? Rahul, also come here. Come more forward here. How can one on basis of what? What is the qualification of one who can experience transcendental bliss? What's written there? You can use that as a... What is the qualification of one who can experience transcendental bliss? Who is answer. You're not thinking. There's so many people performing penances. Are they experiencing transcendental bliss? No. It's the wrong answer. Sit here. Huh? What is the qualification of one to experience transcendental bliss? Rahul, why are you looking?
Can I say, Prabhu? Can I try?
Okay. Yes, try.
When you are above three modes of material nature.
But that's not mentioned in the verse.
Oh, okay.
You're
check
giving a general statement, but that's not the point. You have to see it. You see, fifth chapter, text 22. And hopefully, actually, So what is the quality? Transcendental means above material. I'm not listening to you. So, wrong answer. I already said that's a wrong answer. You're focusing on the wrong. Okay, wait a second. What? Better to read. The sound is not coming.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
when we, in a very humble and respectful and a happy state, contented state, chant the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we experience transcendental bliss.
Yeah, that's correct. But this is not mentioned in the verse. You have to refer to this verse 5:22 in Bhagavad Gita. Oh, where is that? Is there in the verse? Unaffected, where is that? You already stated it. Some of you have stated it already. You're excluded, that's different. Huh? What? That we can't experience through our senses. Why we wouldn't be able to experience bliss through our senses? Okay, we are wasting too much time. Where is it?
Prabhuji, there are two things mentioned in the words.
So,
one is that it says that the mystics derive unlimited transcendental pleasure from the absolute truth. And therefore, supreme absolute truth, personality body is also known as Rama. And then second thing it says is that that you should undergo penance in this life by which your existence will be purified, and as a result you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental. So one is that you should know the absolute truth. Sorry?
No, one, it's wrong. That don't refer to this. It's not Srimad Bhagavatam. You're confusing it. Focus on
Okay, yeah, we should not refer to Srimad Bhagavatam, but it's part of this.
It's very clearly stated. How does Srimad Bhagavatam describe transcendental bliss? It's a state of purity. It's a state of purity. How do you achieve the state of purity? Is it by chanting? Is it by penance, as it's mentioned here? That's all fine.
Yeah.
But what is the main point? The main point is purity.
Purity.
Unless you are pure. Purity means free from the modes of material nature, yes. Unless you are pure and Krishna conscious, then you can't enjoy and experience transcendental bliss. That's a very simple thing. Why we had to waste now? You see how many? 10 minutes, you know. That's okay. Both mentioned are fine, but the emphasis should be on purity. Because as we said already, by just performing penance, it's not good enough. It's not sufficient because there are many people performing penance, but they don't achieve purity. They actually entangle themselves even more. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Is that clear? So how to achieve purity? Text or the question 50, same text 5:22. With hard work, earn a lot, enjoy nicely. The whole world is running on this philosophy. What is wrong with it? Okay, now you have some scope for speculating if you want. What's wrong with this conception? What's wrong with this conception that if you work, get money, and you enjoy? What's wrong with this conception? Is it wrong? Is it wrong?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Is it wrong?
Yes, Prabhuji. No, yes, Prabhuji, it is wrong.
It's not wrong. Krishna, you say it's not wrong?
No, it's wrong, Prabhuji. I said it's wrong.
Okay. Okay, then relax.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Relax.
From that work, we should not deeply want that outcome of that.
Okay, what is stated in the purport of the text? And remember the text earlier that transcendentalists don't engage in the sources of, enjoying the objects of the senses because they ended misery, so they don't indulge in that. And then, but what is stated here? The more one is addicted to material pleasure, the more he is entrapped by material miseries. So easy, no? So yes, you can work hard, earn a lot, enjoy nicely, but you'll be entrapped by material miseries also. And you'll have to suffer. Anything like this mentioned in your papers? No? What is it mentioned?
Yeah,
Saying. Who wrote it?
it's no.
Okay, so that's correct. See, he got it right. At least one person got it right. Tapan, what did you write? Where is your paper? This only, See, running short of time. Well, okay. So, nothing. So nothing means nothing. Then you get nothing. So this is the answer. So okay. So then let's go to the next one because our time is running. So the saint. Look at the saint now. Question 51. How clearly understand why do you receive all material pleasure? So, and stale. What is the body's reply? So, what would you reply? So, what would you reply to someone who says that if we don't enjoy material pleasures, then then what kind of lives do we lead? Yes, Tapan. The reply is given here, meaning you wrote that.
This pleasures are available to the two because rather you should undergo
Heavy. Where did you quote from? Okay. It's in the purpose. Everybody has that. What is written? Anybody has been written? Pleasures and misery complementary. Okay, but that's not Krishna. Can I get this? You cannot whip up the misery. Okay, so that in different lives, that just able to see hope also. So there is no reason to aim very hard for pleasure. So, but then how do we still respond? But how do we still respond to life without gratification? Then okay, it's available to. But then why it's even if it's okay, it's available for me and it's available to animals. But then it's not available to you. But then what are you doing about that? You're not having having any sense gratification. So then your life is boring, and why should I be interested in Krishna consciousness?
Transcendental bliss, actually, you get transcendental.
Unlimited. What kind of transcendental bliss are you experiencing?
Once we get purified.
Once we get purified, but you're not purified yet. So then where is the bliss? Why are you wasting?
Even the process itself.
Why are you wasting your time? You're not getting sense. You don't have sense gratification. You're not getting bliss yet. You're so-called in the process. So then why are you wasting? What are you doing now?
Even the process itself is.
Process is blissful. Like, what is the part of the process? How it starts in the morning, first thing.
Chanting. And
No, before that.
Mangala.
It's blissful. Okay. Okay, it's blissful. I'm not still satisfied. What would you reply to someone? Huh? Not satisfied yet. What is blissful? Okay, you say chanting is blissful.
Chanting, association with devotees.
Association with devotees. Okay, what else? Plucking flowers is blissful.
Apart from that, everything.
Okay, so we'll take that as a part of purification. We'll take that as part of purification. Okay, yeah, is that something? Careful with your pen then, that's like, I'll call upon you. Akash Raju did also something like this. Bolo. Okay, relax, you just came, you have no idea what we're talking about. So what should
Sorry for interrupting. Can I give this?
Relax a little bit. Your connection is not good. It's a big difference.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Better you write it down in the chat box. Devotees also satisfy their senses only after satisfying senses of the Lord. Okay, you heard that? Huh? Yeah, but you heard this. Devotees also satisfy their senses, but only after they make the offering to Krishna. So once Krishna is satisfied, our senses are naturally satisfied. We eat feast, and after offering to Krishna, we dance and sing. Okay, basically everything is offered to Krishna first. And then we take the remnants or the blessing and the mercy prasad of whichever form. So it's not that we are just, like restraining and not utilizing our senses, but we use our senses for the pleasure of Krishna. That's how it works. How many mukha is this? Huh? What? Third. 3. What's cut? 8. So then you say at. What is it? What is cut? Okay, later, relax. Hey, Akash, focus here. Okay, next text. So we gave the answer. Now everybody's clear with this? Happy, satisfied? Everybody's clear with this answer? Okay. Question 52. Same verse. So there was a multiple option. It says that the liberated soul is not interested in anything which is, then you had option, eternal, temporary, not satisfying to the senses, not satisfying the demigods. Okay, so what is the answer? Anybody else has other?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I have.
Krishna, write it down, Baba, I just told you.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Write it down in the chat box. Learn how to use the chat box. Okay, so the answer is B, temporary. And this is stated by Srila Prabhupada. He says, A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary, knowing well the joys of transcendental pleasure. So it's not just some kind of whimsical decision, but it's based on experience. Only then we can be interested in transcendence, when we have the experience of transcendence, and not be interested in anything that is temporary, unless we again have the experience of some spiritual practice. Okay, let's go further. Text 53. Now we are going to the verse 23. This is 5th chapter, text 53, Bhagavad Gita. 23. So there is a question. It is the duty of a transcendentalist to strenuously to control what? So what one has to be very, very determined to control, very steadily, very in a fixed manner. What does one has to control? That's written there?
Desire and anger.
Oh, you find desire. Okay, desire and anger. Huh? What about mind and senses then? Desire and anger, mind and senses. So who is right, who is wrong? Okay, let's read the verse. It says here, before giving up this present body. So before you give up this present body, if one is able to tolerate urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. So even if this world, and even before you give up your body, if you can control your desires and therefore your anger, because not every desire can be satisfied, and if we don't satisfy certain desires, we become angry, right? So if one can learn how to be equanimical and control this, then one can be happy in this life, right? One can be happy and satisfied even within this existence. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about these forces of that is described in Nectar of Instructions, Upadeshamrita. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jivo Vegam, Udarupasta Vegam. One who is able to control all these different Vegas, all these different urges, then one is capable to make disciples all over the world. So then that means one is, under control. Or controlling, is capable of controlling all these different urges of the speech, of the mind, right? Of the bodily demands, sensual demands, especially the tongue. Tongue is said to be the most uncontrollable. What are the functions of the tongue? Taste and talk. So if one can control those, then he'll be happy. Can you imagine this? Not like some people who just wanna. I wanna say something. I have to say something. Now I have to speak. Now I have to relax a little. That immediately draws attention towards certain. Yeah, well, you're exposed now. What can we do? This is Krishna's. Yeah, well, Krishna's arrangement. So therefore, if one can control the forces of talk, anger, mind, stomach, genitals, the tongue again, like talk, in a sense of talk and taste. So one is able to control the forces of all its different senses. And the mind is called Goswami or Swami. Such Goswamis live strictly controlled lives and forego altogether the forces of the senses. Material desires, when unsatiated, generate anger, and thus the mind, eyes, and chest become agitated. Therefore, one must practice control of them before one gives up this material body. Because if you don't control this, Yeah, well, there are different answers given here. C, D, but definitely yes. It can be both answers. So let's put it this way: it can be C or D. So it can be both. More correct is definitely C, but mind and senses are also mentioned in the purport by Srila Prabhupada, so we can include it as well. So even in this life, you have to learn how to control those. You can't just be irregulated and uncontrollable, because then you'll be led to misery and frustration. Okay, so far, any questions? Anything unclear? How many more we have till the end? How many questions? 4, that's it? 57 is the last? Okay, so then we can spend a little time analyzing this. 27. So then we can read the next text. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme. So Krishna is pointing out that if you really want to be happy, then don't expect it to come from any external source. Don't rely on any external conditions. Happiness comes from within. Real happiness comes from within. That means the state of mind, purity of the mind, purity of the senses, purity of intelligence, purity of false ego, or actually better to say of no false ego. That is the state of liberated person. Okay, so now we have this 25th text, and this is 54th question. What is the highest welfare work? And the options were to perform various sacrifices to please the demigods, to donate money to various charities and social causes, to act to restore Krishna consciousness in the human society, to establish various educational institutions. Okay, so that's actually too easy. Too easy answer. Okay, what do you have? What do you have written? Did you give me any paper? You got any? Anybody else has anything different? There was a whole bunch of papers. They give them something. No? Anybody has double? What happened to all the other ones? I know what happened. Some people, who wrote the test, they took it back, yes, and made it unavailable for the final revision. This is what had happened. There was plenty of... Yeah. Where's yours? Okay. Another exposure. Okay, so the answer is C. But what about? Okay, let's say here. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for welfare of all living beings, who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. That is the real welfare, just see, to be free from all sins. Many times we have a conception that the welfare work means what? That, we just, again, like connecting to the previous verse, we consider that we are just external circumstances. This is very important welfare work. But you see, Krishna doesn't say that. Krishna is saying that the real welfare work is to help somebody to adjust everything internal and to purify that internal state. That's the real welfare work. Because anything else that we adjust from the external point of view, will it last? What did we discuss 2 verses before? Saintly persons are not interested in something that is temporary. Can you connect all of these things now? So those who are real spiritualists, they're not interested in anything temporary. They're interested in something that is permanent. And therefore they endeavor for the permanent. Because everything external is temporary, everything internal is permanent. And where is the real happiness? Is it externally there or it's internal? It's which state? Internal state. That's the whole point. So that's why here again now Krishna says that one who is, earlier he had stated, one who is to be liberated, therefore must be rejoicing from within. And here now the real welfare work, it's to bring one beyond the duality that arises from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, who are free from all sins. They deserve liberation. So that's the real welfare work. Because temporary, what is it? It's like what does it mean, welfare work? It's a very big topic now. Because people think that by opening more hospitals, are less people, because you open more hospital, is it that less people come to hospital? It's actually just the worse. Because they don't get fixed properly, they have to keep on coming back. It's another big discussion, very serious one. And that's many times done on purpose. That the treatment is not purposefully well administered. It's also there. So then what is it, a welfare work? What it means, welfare work? Arrange for some kind of other feeding program. But then you die, and then again you have to take another material body, and again you'll be hungry, right? Is there hunger in the spiritual world? Huh? No? Are you sure? There is hunger. But it's not unsatiated. It's everything is plentiful. There's no need for hunger, but you feel hungry because you want to taste the nectar of Krishna's prasad. That's the point. Or let's arrange for certain kind of educational program. Is that a welfare thing? You get educated, and so therefore you can work in someone's factory being exploited. Is that a welfare work? Is that helping anyone? So then what it means, welfare? Welfare means, get out of this material world. That's the real welfare. What is the example Srila Prabhupada gives? What is the example? One of the most common examples we discussed that many times. What is the simple example that points to the best welfare activity? Now you have to know this, because that's such a common example. What is the example pointing out to what is the best welfare activity?
Can I try, Prabhu?
No, wait a second. Now, last Krishna. Krishna, now you have a chance to speak. Do you know? You don't know? See? Okay, Vikrant, you have a chance now.
And distribute books. Prabhupada books.
That's not the example. That's the activity. What is the example Srila Prabhupada gave?
Example.
Example.
Okay.
What is the example Srila Prabhupada gave? Because by giving example, everything should become clear, no? It involves all the other options. So what is the example? Nobody knows. Akash Raj, what are you meditating on? There are so many examples. Okay, give one.
Being Krishna consciousness.
Example. Watering the root of a plant. Okay, that's not bad. Watering the root of the plant. That's a not bad example, but that's not the one I'm thinking. We are wasting time. Okay, then I'll state it. How you don't know that? I said it so many times. I mean, it's just such a most
It's related to it. Between
Stomach? Feels the stomach.
That's okay, that's fine, but I'll say it. Okay, Rohan, you have a chance, last chance.
So Prabhupada gives us example that to make us understand that we are not this body and we are soul.
You're not the body will. No, that's not the one. Okay, so Prabhupada gives the example of a boy who leaves his family. Never heard of this example? Sometimes you don't get in some, there's never any misunderstanding between you and your family, father, mother, or someone. Never happened. And you sometimes resolve that you're like, okay, that's it, I'm leaving home. I'm gonna work things out on my own. Never had that. Yeah, okay. So, that kind of idea of leaving home. So then that boy left the home, and someone who knew that boy and his father met him somewhere else, and he noticed that the boy is hungry, he's not well clothed, so that he's, requiring some medical help as well. And then there are three options. One can just not become involved and interfere in any way, and just say, it's not my business, it's just what can I, this boy, so, whatever he is, don't make any comments upon it, but whatever condition he's at, that's because of his desire, because of his activities. He's in need of so many things, but, now he's bereft of any support. So, I don't want to interfere with it. And then there's a second option of, okay, well, since I know him, and maybe if I even wouldn't know him, but he's in such a very inappropriate condition and very kind of almost suffering condition. So then I can give him some money. So let him buy food, clothes. Maybe it's getting winter time, coming cold, whatever. But the second and the third option, well, specifically even more so because I know his father. So let me do a favor to his parents. So let me sit with this and try to understand what has been difficulty or misunderstanding that boy had with his family, and why is he now in the position that he's in? And let me try to help and resolve this. So now, out of those three options, Srila Prabhupada gave this example. So then, which option is the best? Not to interfere?
C.
Not to interfere and just say, oh, it's his karma, what do I care, right? Should I get it? A good option?
Third option.
Okay, so I give some money and I help out. Is that going to be resolving all the problems and be a real solution? No, it's a temporary thing. And then what if it happens that this boy also, he even takes some intoxicants, and then he takes that money. So instead of buying medicine and this and that, whatever, he just goes and takes some drugs and drinks or something, maybe even, does something even worse, he starts gambling on the, what is this? There's some team, Titans, Bengali Titans, what is that? From cricket? What is it? Gujarat, yeah, they're from Gujarat Titans and Mumbai, Indians, and I don't know. So let me gamble. Let me put this money and then maybe Gujarat wins, Haribol, and then and he loses all the money and he's so foolish. And just wastes it all. So he completely misuses this. So then, what about the third option? So just you try to make him understand certain things, and giving completely different perception, and that his parents are really caring and loving and whatever, and then and bring him back home. So what is the best? What is the best out of these three options? Third one. So that's what Srila Prabhupada said. This is what Krishna consciousness is. That's the best welfare work. Now, that's what we try to do with conditioned living beings. Try to tell them, why are you wasting your time in this material world? You're trying to somehow provide yourself with some food and clothing and taking care of all the difficulties, pleasures that are imposed on you, and all these miseries. Just go back home, the real home. Go back home, back to Godhead. Why you've left Krishna? Haribol, why you left Krishna? Because we wanted to enjoy separately. So now we are enjoying. Have a nice time. Understand? So that's the point. So that's the best welfare work. So this is what Krishna is saying here. And one has to become free from sin. Because as long as you gamble and drink and do all these different kinds of things, how will you go back home, back to Krishna? You won't have interests. And then you will just look for some temporary patch-up solutions. You won't be happy. You can't be happy. And you won't have interest to go back home. You won't have interest because you'll be interested in so many other things. Hanging around with the girls, wasting money for the girls or whatever. No? It's not going to work. Okay. Our time is also running. Let's complete this today. So this is the highest welfare work, to act and restore Krishna consciousness in human society. Because then, if you are Krishna conscious, then there are no problems. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to say that there is only one problem in this world, that is lack of Krishna consciousness. If everybody would be, or at least somebody, a few people, whatever, anyone would be somewhat Krishna conscious, there wouldn't be any problems. All the problems arise from being non-Krishna conscious. Okay, 55th question. And this is next text. It says, explain the term Brahma Nirvana. What does it mean? Okay, what you have written? Past. We have 10 minutes left.
Liberation from material existence.
Liberation from material existence. Anybody has anything else?
Liberation in the Supreme.
Liberation in the Supreme.
What meaning?
Okay. Well, Prabhupada gives pretty long purport. But let's read. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future. So you can be already actually liberated even in this body. Jivan mukta sauchate. But you have to become free from sin. And you're liberated, even while in this material body. Okay, it's a long report. Anyway. Okay, that's 27. So we have two more verses left. Two are combined. 27, 28 are combined. So it says here, list the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. So now why this is coming? Because next chapter, the chapter that we are actually discussing on these Thursdays, it's the Dhyana Yoga, discussion about yoga practice. So now Krishna has been talking about liberation. So now he's introducing one of the processes that one can liberate oneself from the sin and achieve that connection with the Supreme. And he starts talking about Dhyana Yoga for meditation. So what are the 8 limbs? Anybody knows without looking? It shouldn't be difficult. I mean, it should be. I'm just curious again. You don't know. what are the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga? But you have to know all 8. Don't tell me just first 1 or 2. 8 limbs. Who knows full 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga? You practice. You know. Oh, wait a second. Anybody else? Why all of you don't know? You never did any yoga, Surya Namaskar, something, Shirshasana or something, how's that called when you just lie down and sleep, you know? Shavasana. Even at least that one you did. No? You're doing every day. So, what are the 8 limbs? Nobody else knows. You know. Okay, sure. Okay. Wait a second. Yam, yam. That because you read there or what? Wrong. It's not in, it's in wrong order. You're disqualified. No. Really? But how you don't know? It's such a okay. Yoga has been popular in recent years. There is a yoga World's Day or something. So then it's in the Ashtanga Yoga. This is, you know, that's commercial yoga. What is yoga as in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Who knows this? Discussed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nobody says something like that. How is yoga termed as? Union with spring. That's not that's correct, but something else that when he talked about commercial yoga, what is it termed? But even there is not termed yoga. If you give the wrong answer, you know what will happen. Okay, that's fine. You don't know about it. What was it the term in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Anybody here? Brahman realized wrong. Help! How nobody knows in Chaitanya Charitamrita how yoga is practiced is termed. We have 5 minutes left. Yoga is termed as a black snake which will bite, make you die. Black snake. Why? It's a black snake. It's a cobra, king cobra coming. Why do people use yoga? For mystic powers, for material sense enjoyment, right? Mostly. That's why it's a black snake. It will just kill your real spiritual life. Any real spiritual propensity. And you can become misled. What is it yoga used nowadays for? Is it for your definition? So then it's a black snake. It's actually more distracting than it's least beneficial. Better not to even practice it practically. Because what is the result then? Yes. Yeah, if we have a healthy body, we can also spiritually utilize it. That's correct. But if you're practicing your yoga to have a healthy body and impress some other healthy body, then it's a flex. Huh? Yes, that's the point. Yes. Okay, so here there is a process given in the text 27 and 28. How one should concentrate between 2 eyebrows, and anyway, this we will discuss next Thursday because we are continuing with the Ashtanga Yoga descriptions. So now the final question, we have 2 minutes left. What is the greatest peace formula? What is given in the text 29, last text of the chapter 5. What is the greatest peace formula? What is Srila Prabhupada saying? in the purport. What is the peace formula? What is the greatest peace formula? You should all memorize this verse. It's one of the very known verses.
May I try to do?
Yeah.
Bhoktaram Yakyata Prasad. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and he is the well-wisher of every jivas. That is the answer.
Okay, that's what the text is all about. Thank you. So that the text itself. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport is saying, Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord because he is the proprietor of all planets and demigods their own. No one is greater than he. So, but knowing the real peace formula, it's knowing Krishna's position. If you know Krishna's position, then you will be at peace with everything and everybody else. So if you know what is Krishna's position, you'll be clear what is your position, you'll be clear what's everybody else's position, and you won't interfere in that. And you'll be peaceful and you'll see everybody being peaceful actually. That's the greatest peaceful formula. Oktaram yagyatapasam sarvalokha maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatvam shantim richati. To attain that shanti, that's what you should do. Okay, time is over. So thank you for participating in this summary of the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And please try to read it. There are just 29 verses in this chapter. It's very short. I think you can, within 20 minutes, you can just read all of those verses. So please at least try to do it. Try to get a little perception of what is this 5th chapter. So then again, we'll continue 6th chapter discussions from next Thursday. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you for the